The Root Cause of Human Suffering, written by Xu Feng. Buddha Sakyamuni came into the world to resolve human suffering. Jesus Christ descended to save humanity from suffering. Karl Marx's theory of communism was also intended to liberate humanity from suffering. However, the practice of communism, as well as the history of utopia societies that have existed in human history, has proven that humanity has still not found the true root cause of its suffering. So, where exactly does the root cause of human suffering lie? Cells and the body. It is an ironclad fact. When the cells of a body are infected with a virus, the entire body will inevitably be unhealthy. The family is the cell of human society. If we want to determine whether human society is healthy, we only need to examine the cells that compose it, just as a hospital tests blood cells to determine whether the body is sick. Does the family, the cell of human society, carry a virus? Let us trace this to its root. Suppose someone engages in corruption or bribery. We ask why. There may be many reasons, but at the core, it is for the sake of his family, for his parents, for his wife and children, for family honor, and for the safety and prestige of the whole family. Everyone wants to live ahead of others. No one wants themselves, or especially their parents, spouse, and children, to be looked down upon. To avoid this, one must ensure that their family has better housing, clothing, transportation, and education for their children than others, or at least equal to them. If wages are insufficient and there are no other sources of income, what then? Corruption and bribery becomes the only option. What if people had no families, no wives or husbands, no children, and were not allowed to form families at all? Think about it. All this rush and busyness in people's lives, what is it for? For fame and profit. And why pursue fame and profit? Ultimately, it is for the family, for houses, cars, parents, wives, and sons. Without families, would people still be so busy? Certainly not. But busyness itself is not the main problem. The real issue is what this busyness leads to. Not merely ecological destruction and resource depletion, but more importantly, mutual comparison and competition between people. Such comparison and competition result in mutual and spiritual suffering, result in mental and spiritual suffering, and lead to widespread crime. Here, crime is not only legal violations, it is also the spiritual torment and psychological harm caused when people fail to keep promises and betray each other's trust. Thousands of years of human history prove that the family is a cell with a virus. Where did this virus come from? It comes from the program. The family is a program. Once a person enters this program, no matter how good they are, they will be infected by its virus. Therefore, all conflicts within families and in society are not caused by any particular person, not by parents, spouses, children, siblings, relatives, or friends, nor by society as a whole. The problem lies in the program of the family itself. Unless the family system is dissolved, human suffering will never end. The way out. The vast majority of people are unwilling to see families dissolve, just as no one willingly shares all their wealth with others. In fact, it is very difficult for people to voluntarily dismantle their own families, just as it is difficult for a person to perform surgery on themselves. Dismantling existing families is unimaginable and unrealistic. There is only one way out. Those who have not married should not marry. Those who are divorced should not remarry. Of course, this leads to a series of new problems. First, sexual relations. Then, whether or not to have children, and how to raise and educate them. Then, how to address the issues of aging, sickness, and death. And further, how society's structure should operate, and so on. How to solve these issues is something for civilized people to figure out. However, Lifechanyuan has already prepared a theoretical framework for this. Once you understand the ideals of Lifechanyuan, you will see the answers. June 30, 2007